So it's been almost 1 year since the geopolitical landscape here on the Korean Peninsula took a major turn. On April 27th last year, the leaders of the two Koreas shook hands and gave each other big hugs, crossing the Military Demarcation Line, warming the hearts of many here in Korea. And since then, we saw rapid developments by regional players surrounding the Korean Peninsula. Now, for a recap of the developments of the Moon administration's peace drive in the region and much more, we have our Shin Se-min now joining us in the studio. So Se-min, we're just a day away from the first anniversary since the historic first summit between the leaders of the two Koreas at the border village of Panmunjeom. Any word from the president yet marking the day?
Right, the President Moon Jae-in spent today in Gangwon-do Province, located on the eastern part of the country, also bordering North Korea. And there he said the government will prepare for a future where the Korean Peninsula can open up a new era of peace. And that was from a briefing on Gangwon-do Province's campaign for peace-based regional economic growth. Now, President Moon also promised his efforts for an early resumption of major inter-Korean projects like the tour packages to North Korea's Mount Kumgang, and the South Korean leader said his government will speed up the work to link the 104-kilometer-long railway between the cities of the two Koreas.
Now, the South Korean government has planned a commemorative event to mark the day, which will take place tomorrow at the South Korean territory of the border village of Panmunjeom. But North Korea remains unresponsive. North Korea remains silent about the event, despite being notified by the South Korean government that it would take place. So obviously North Korean officials won't be attending the event?
That is what we know so far. I mean, over the past year, we've seen ups and downs on the process of the denuclearization drive by President Moon but South Korea's stance on engaging with the North to fully complete its denuclearization process has not changed a bit. And with or without the North, South Korea's Unification Ministry says it has chosen to go ahead with the cultural event where artists from South Korea, the U.S., China, and Japan will be performing under the theme of peace in the region.
And that event doesn't seem to be the only peak inside this administration's stance in handling the denuclearization issue. Now, through those, obviously, President Moon Jae-in is continuing to show his strong determination to keep the flame of dialogue alive with North Korea. And the second commander-in-chief is also echoing the president's voice, right?
Right. That's from a meeting yesterday where the presidential chief of staff, Do Young-min, just yesterday cemented that idea of possibly working for another summit between the two Koreas. During a meeting where the South Korea has been working to implement the promises made by the Panmunjeom Declaration last year, he said what's more important than any other thing for now is to prepare for the fourth summit with North Korea, reaffirming its resolve to faithfully implement existing summit deals. So despite the ups and downs we've seen over the past year, it's fair to say that all of them signify progress being made on the president's peace drive on the Korean Peninsula.
Now, President Moon Jae-in has officially proposed another round of inter-Korean summit. What do you see the possibility of the talks taking place soon?
I mean, it is highly likely that the South Korean government will be pushing for another inter-Korean summit at an early date, given that President Moon has just wrapped up another meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump, trying to get those two leaders back on track for talks on the denuclearization. But just to give you a brief recap of what President Moon had said over the past couple of remarks at different events, it just clearly shows that President Moon's strong will in taking down the denuclearization drive is not changing a bit. Here are some of the latest remarks we pulled up from the president.
카자흐스탄은 자발적인 비핵화를 통해서 경제 성장을 이룬 그런 경험을 가지고 있기 때문에 우리 한반도의 비핵화 문제에 있어서 큰 영감을 주고 있습니다. 나는 지금까지 그랬듯이 또 한 번의 남북 정상회담이 더 큰 기회와 결과를 만들어내는 디딤돌이 되도록 최선의 노력을 다할 것입니다. 한반도의 평화는 남과 북을 넘어 동북아와 아세안, 유라시아를 포괄하는 새로운 경제 성장의 동력이 될 것입니다.
So, Talon, all in all, a clear depiction of the president's strong will to get the nuclear talks going again while pursuing for another inter-Korean summit in the near future. So, I mean, we better cross our fingers that we'll be seeing another inter-Korean summit in the near future in the weeks to come as the Moon administration is pushing for, they've been holding different meetings and events to get North Korea to talk and get the regime involved in moving and making progress in the denuclearization process.
Well, we're seeing back-to-back summits this week between the leaders of the key regional players surrounding the Korean Peninsula. So we'll have to see how things unfold from this point on. Thank you so much, Se-min, for that comprehensive report.
Always a pleasure.